I've been living on my work now exclusively for about 11, 12 years, which is wonderful. But I did a lot of things to make a living and to survive. I lived in a loft in Philadelphia, which was $100 a month. There was no heat in the winter, so I had a little tiny electric heater. There was no water, so I used to have to go down and take showers where they washed the carpets, and I had 1 minute when the water went from freezing cold to boiling hot. So you learn how to you learn how to deal with these situations. I've lived in a lot of pretty rough situations in my life, but it's all been really good. The reason I'm an artist, I think it really goes back to my parents, and specifically my mother, who really provided me and my sisters with a very nurturing and creative home environment with a lot of music, a lot of books, and a lot of paintings. I think that really had a big influence on me, just her providing that whole framework from which to view the world.
He spent part of his early life living in Africa, so there's definitely this African influence.
There used to be these dinners, these huge picnics that would happen out on this beautiful hillside by the Congo River. There was a time of evening when the sun would go down and everything was kind of backlit. I can remember the palm trees, and I can remember the beautiful red ball of the sun going down, and I can remember seeing the fishermen on this beautiful glassy river going back and forth in these beautiful islands in the stream out there, almost like a mirage. And I think images like that, scenes like that, really embedded themselves in my blood.
He has a phrase, something like, "I paint what I want to see." And at first glance, sometimes they can seem realistic, but they're not.
I want to take from the past and learn from the past, but I also, as I said, I want to be painting for my own time in the hopes of being looked at now and in the future.
I think Greg doesn't belong to this century in a way. He's really much like in the beginning of the 20th century painter, and he has so much influence from his own imagination and his education in art that he actually truly believes that when he will be dead, he will be in museums, and I wish for him to be before.
I find something of interest in almost every period or style he goes through, whether it's more portraits, whether it's more landscapes. But there are very few things I've seen I don't like of Greg's.
I just like the stuff. I don't have any real reason why I like it. I just like looking at it. I like the colors. I like the way it looks. He's a really, really, really talented painter, and I just like the paintings.
Greg is an extremely generous person with his artwork.
I mean, obviously, Greg is a great guy if he gives his work to people that he likes. I mean, what higher compliment for friendship is that? I gave you this gigantic painting. That's nice.
I think of him every time I see one of these works of art. He gives these people works of art, and they have this connection with him.
From memory, he painted my daughter, who's probably around 11 or 12 on this painting, with my cat. He had already noticed that the cat and the daughter, really loved each other very much.
I'm very grateful to my family and to my friends. My life would be much less full without them.
Greg really has become, in many ways, part of the family. Over the time that he's come back and forth from Asheville to Nashville for business reasons, he stayed with us, and we just developed this very, very close friendship. And we just really enjoy hanging out, eating good food, drinking wine, talking about politics, art, music, anything you can think of.
He's a good person to hang out with, but eventually he's got to get back to painting, and I admire that in him.
When Greg left town, he had this amazing art show. He had all these canvases spread out on the grass with these little walkways in between each one, and the paintings were gorgeous, and it was a magical day because the weather was great and the paintings were wonderful, and it was really one of the best art shows I've ever seen in Nashville.
I think that's the bottom line, is you just dig down and Maybe every day, sometimes you rediscover that you're doing something that you are literally in love with. In spite of hardships and in spite of obstacles and frustrations, I've always painted. It's always been something that I deeply love, and it's always been there for me.